Boxing Lowdown, I'm here at the Hotquah Ring Gym with a very special guest. Now listen, before I get into this interview, this guy right here, when I first did my interview ever for this channel, I reached out to my brother and I said, look, I need someone to interview, I need to interview Kay, I need to get him on my channel, man, it'll be a big scoop. He lined it up, Kay was more than welcoming, and now he's back as the English champion. Great to see you again, man. How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man.
It was good to be the start of the journey, and yeah, we've just been progressing ever since.
Got some great news, man. I mean, if you guys didn't know already, Kay obviously boxed in September in a rematch with Samo Mason for the English title. He took that via decision, and now Luton has its first ever English champion. How does it feel? How did it feel when the judge said the news? When it was about to go to the scorecards, did you know you had it, or was you like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go? Because obviously the first fight ended how it did, in a draw.
Yeah.
So did that all go through your mind? What was you thinking?
Yeah, fully, exactly like that. Obviously, because of the first fight ended in a draw, and I thought I'd won the fight. I thought, yeah, I've definitely got this. And then when they said it was a draw, it kind of broke me down a bit, do you know what I mean? So going into the second fight, even though I thought I won it even more convincingly, I still wasn't making myself overly confident I was going to get the win, because there's a horrible feeling when, do you know what I mean, you think you're going to get something, you don't get it. So I was almost holding back on my emotions, like what I was feeling. And then when they said and the new, just like literally just elated, just like it was the best feeling.
It's amazing. I mean, unfortunately I wasn't there, but just seeing all the footage from like Boxing Luton and everybody else, and just all the updates I was getting, I was just like refreshing my screen every minute, like how's Kay getting on, how's he getting on?
Yeah.
And the footage was unbelievable, man. Such a big crowd come down to support.
Yeah, I've had great support since it first started. Like, town really gets behind their boxers. Luton's a great hub of boxing, like it's going from strength to strength. And yeah, it's like, it's really it's special to be not leading the way in a way, but almost like, yeah, just trying to bring everyone through and just trying to make a massive statement.
Yeah, it's a big statement, and like I said, Luton's first ever English champion. But going back to the fight quickly before I speak about the future, what sort of adjustments did you make in a rematch, if any? Because obviously you thought you beat him the first time, so did you go into camp with your trainer thinking, look, I need to make any changes, or was it just like, I'll just continue to do the same as what I did before because I believe I won?
Now, my trainer, Xavier Miller from IQ Boxing, he's a perfectionist. We studied the tapes over and over, and we can't...
That's good, because some fighters don't study tapes, do they?
Some fighters don't, but I don't know why he wouldn't. At the end of the day, we didn't expect Sam to come out and do the exact same thing. But like I said, a leopard don't change his spots, and I think as much as I give him props for being a champion and he can punch, he's quite limited in what he could do. We knew that he had some big overhand hooks and that he had a bit of strength in both hands, but his variation of fighting is limited. And after the first round throwing a few jabs, he resorted back to type, and we had everything that we needed for him in store.
Yeah, and like you said, took the victory by a decision. I've seen like you've been to Luton Town and been paraded around the stadium, and there's been a lot of very good publicity going around for you. Not just in Luton but around the country. It's been nationwide. So what happens next? I mean, have we got a fight scheduled? I mean, what's the plan now?
Yeah, so that fight was obviously for the English title, and it was also a British eliminator. It was not a final eliminator. It doesn't mean my name's in there to fight for it, but I was hoping I was going to get put straight in there. But unfortunately, they've made a fight between Ennis Brown and Philip Bowers. They're behind me in the rankings. They've won a few titles, so that's understandable that they've been put ahead of me. So I've been made to have a final eliminator against someone called Joe Hughes. He's ex-European super lightweight champion. He's fought for the British. Come on, stuck against Robbie Davies Jr., which was a good fight. So he's definitely a level fighter, but that fight fell through. He doesn't want to fight me for whatever reason. So I was literally hoping to get put into fight for the British title against Philip Bowers, because Akeem Ennis Brown is in the MTK, is it called the Golden Contract?
The Golden Contract tournament, yeah.
Yeah, Golden Contract, but I'm literally just hearing now that possibly he's pulled out of that and he's going to be fighting for the British, that seems like. So for me now, I'm kind of like looking around, but at the end of the day, stay positive. My manager, Steve Goodman from Goodman Boxing, he always makes shrewd moves, good moves for me. So if it ain't going to be a final eliminator against someone who's going to get me to that level, I want a massive fight. I want to fight a top name. I want to fight someone who people won't expect me to fight, and I either want to get straight in there for British, or I want to keep pushing on.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about Robbie Davies Jr. there. Obviously, he's in a big fight this weekend. Now, I'm sure you'll be keeping a close eye on that one. How do you see that fight going between him and Ritson?
Ritson's coming up from the weight below, but he was a strong lightweight. So I don't think it's going to be down to Robbie Davies, who's a bigger man. When Robbie Davies fought Joe Hughes, he got hit so much. If you see his face after the fight, he was busted up. So some people didn't think he even won that fight. I think Lewis Ritson, if he can land the shots like the kind of shots Joe Hughes was landing, I think he packs a bit more of a punch, and he might get him out of there, to be fair.
He's got the home crowd behind him as well, hasn't
Exactly that as well, yeah, that does mean a lot. Like, obviously when I fought Sam, the crowd pushed me on. If you see one of the rounds, I was just letting everything out. In the ninth round, I just left everything there because the crowd was getting behind me. It does make a big difference.
Yeah, it certainly does. And speaking of which, I mean, we're in the Hockwell gym right now. This is where you've based yourself for so many years, helped bring this gym up from the ground. 100%. We've got Uprising Promotions coming up soon. Would you like to talk about that, just for the people that don't know? Yeah,
Uprising Promotion is a pro organisation that's been set up by the Hockwell Ring Foundation. We've got our first show on the 26th of October. It's going to have some exciting pros. Ali Malik's fighting on it, Josh Goodin's fighting on it, Chris Davis is fighting on it, and a few other names. Unfortunately myself, I can't fight in it. I was hoping to be able to fight in it, but due to me not knowing where I'm at, I'm not been able to fight in it. But it's also an amateur show that's going to be going on before that, because it's obviously Hockwell Ring / High Rise. So yeah, so it's amateur fights in the daytime, and then it goes into a pro show, and then after party afterwards. So it's going to be a great day.
It's amazing, yeah. How much hard work must go into that, especially with you? I mean, you box. I mean, you manage a football team as well, don't you? You got the promotions thing on the side, working like you're doing everything, man. So how do you fit the time in to do anything?
No, it is. I'm not even the most organised person. Like, people would say I'm always late or I'm always up to no good because I'm always rushing around.
I see JP in the background nodding.
Yeah, JP knows. Boxing Luton. Shout out to Boxing Luton.
Boxing Luton.
No, it is. So we just got a good team around us. I think everyone's got their strengths, and we just delegate certain roles. And you know what? We just put the work in. Just got to grind. If you want it enough, you put the work in.
Absolutely, man. And listen, closing thoughts before we go. I wanted to get your thoughts quickly on the big fight on the same night as Uprising Promotions. That's Josh Taylor going up against Regis Prograis. You went up there to spar Josh Taylor, didn't you? What was that like?
I sparred Josh Taylor.
What's he like? I mean, a nasty individual in the ring, but it seems like a good guy outside of it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, like, you see him in the ring, they switch on and they're a different animal. But outside the ring, happy to help you, happy to say you different bits of advice and tell you his life story and stuff like that. Like, really credit to the sport and to himself and to his country. So I've got props for him, and I think he can beat Regis Prograis. But Prograis is a quality, strong fighter, and he's going to show. He's going to have to. Taylor's going to have to show what level he's at against that kind of fighter.
Absolutely, man. And before I end this, last question now. I know, on the first interview that I had with you, that I think one of the last questions I had was about possibly boxing at Kenilworth Road. Now, yes. How do we get there? What do we need to do? Would it be a British title fight? I know the whole town's backing you right now, backing yourself, Linus, got Josh, everybody else. How can we get there? What do we need to do to get you boxing at Kenilworth Road? We've seen you paraded out there before. Yeah. So, I mean, how can we get you in there? I mean, I'm sure you've built up a good relationship with those guys at Luton now, and JP's obviously been helping you out as well.
Yeah, it's true. I just think we've got all the ingredients there. We just need someone to rubber stamp it now. I think, obviously, you're going to need big fights. You might even need some big sponsors. But with big fights come big opportunities. So I think if I can get to the British, the likes of Linus, Alex Bishop, you've got other amateurs coming up in Luton. Frankie Story, if he made his pro, or Jordan Reynolds. Boxing in Luton is a massive thing. So I think whoever it might be, someone needs to sit down and be like, this is a great opportunity for us to build something that's going to be really positive for the town. And they're going to maybe have to put some money into it, but you get so much from it. And all I can do is really focus on my part and just say, look, I've got a big fight. Can we stage it? And I think the next couple of fights are going to get me to that stage.
Well, listen, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you, man. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. And for those that don't know, feel free to plug, your social media, so get more followers.
Look at, check me out on K_Prosper on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. You know what I mean? So trying to be active on the social medias, and thank you for all the support.
Thanks for talking to us.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, man. Cheers, man.
Nice.